TV thing that they did where Shane McMahon shocked everybody by saying he bought WCW, and I just don't think that angle was played out to what it really could have been.
All right, guys, the wrestling time machine this week is going to go backwards, and then we're going to go forwards. But first, we're going to go back to the day the WCW was purchased by WWE. And the question is, from both of you, what was it like behind the scenes for you, Teddy, and what was it like for you, Bill, as the news broke that the company had been sold? What happened backstage, Teddy, with you? What were the guys like? Were they nervous, excited? What?
Well, I think a lot of, I don't think anybody was really nervous. I think a lot of guys, might have been excited about it. You know what I mean? Because there we go. Now we got this company, and there were a lot of great guys in WCW, and to have them come over and be a part of WWE was certainly, a big move there. So, I think some guys, from WCW, they'd always, the whole thing in WCW was always this, man, go to New York, man, go to New York. You go, they'll treat you, like gold, man, go to New York. So I think a lot of guys was waiting on that. Hey, man, here's my big chance. We're going to the WWF, you know what I mean? So, but, they don't know. It's business in the WWF just like it was business in WCW. So ain't nothing changed there. So, like I said, I think the morale was up, and a lot of guys were glad, for the move, and so I don't think anything was wrong with it. I think that was a great move.
There wasn't anybody in the back in WWE or WWF. I can't remember if it was E or F then. Bill, was it E or F?
I think it was WWF at that time.
But at that time,
it was E. I think it was WWE. I think it was still WWE.
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think it was WWE when they bought WCW.
Oh, so
I'm just wondering I'm just wondering if in the locker room, was there anybody in the back who was worried maybe about their spot, because these guys are coming in. You've already got a roster that's pretty full, and you're bringing in some guys now, and you're not really even sure who's coming. All you know is that this company got bought.
All you got to do is do your job. If you're doing your job, you ain't got to worry about your spot. Okay, just that simple.
I got calls from many wrestlers, probably half a dozen wrestlers, who wanted to know if I could put in a good word to them from New York.
Yep.
There. They were concerned about their spots because they were pretty much mid-card, working their way up. In terms of coverage where we were, it made us very nervous because at that time, WWE had their own magazine and they blocked access to all the wrestling magazines, but WCW was like, come in and do whatever you want whenever you need to do it. So we were nervous about that it would affect more of what we did.
Teddy, I just kind of realizing when the guys came over, we're talking about names, at least what they thought may be coming could have been Flair, Hall, Nash, Hogan. So there were some possible big names coming over there. Was that exciting in itself because of the numbers they could bring with them? Or because at this point, y'all been through a war. You've kind of been on both sides of that war. But at the end, Vince won. So these guys coming over, they had to be looked at a little bit as like an enemy.
Well, what do you mean, coming back to WWE? Or?
Yeah, coming back after they left before.
Well, I don't think Vince looked at it like that. Vince knows he came out on top. Vince knows he's the winner. Now, all these guys, y'all can come on back and do whatever you want to do. I won't forget, okay? So I don't think it was no animosity there, nothing. Vince came out on top, so I think the best thing for the guys to do is just, hey, suck it up and let's see if the man's got a job for me.
Yeah, a lot of the WCW mid-card and lower card guys that were picked up, though, did not win a lot of matches in WWE. I think maybe not Vince, but I think that some of the other people in WWE wanted to show that their guys can't beat our guys.
Was that not kind of similar when we watched Cody Rhodes at the past WrestleMania where he lost to a WWE, main guy? I mean, it seems like that same story played out for Cody Rhodes this past weekend when it came to that. And also, a lot of people wondering, well, why didn't we get the Stings and the Hogans at the time? Bill, the reason for that was contracts, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
They were making a lot of money, if I'm not mistaken. Going to WWE would have been a loss.
They would. That is true. But I think that if Sting had made the jump back then, he would have been one of the most mega stars that company had ever seen. He got there too late, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What about Scott Steiner? Now, when he came in, Teddy, into WWE, how was that? Were people glad to see him? Because, he's kind of you never know what you're going to get with Scott.
I always say
yeah. I mean, with Scotty, he's Scott is Scott. You know what I mean? I'm just happy I'm good friends with him.
I hear you, brother.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So Scotty's going to be Scotty. So I don't think there's anybody that had any problem with Scotty coming in. Because, I mean, like I said, when Scotty, him and his brother were together, man, they're one of the greatest tag teams of all time. And Scotty went out on his single, but, when he went out on his own, he was still a tough competitor. So, Scott Steiner is going to be Scott Steiner. So you're going to have to deal with him or keep moving.
And I've seen Teddy before. Teddy does a famous Scott Steiner math routine when he has to go out and tell people how many years the anniversary is or whatever. He'll make up a number. You never know. I went to the first anniversary of a show, and Teddy's out there saying, the 21st anniversary. And I'm like, what the hell happened to the other 20 years? I've been asleep or something.
Yeah, because we're only been here a year.
Yeah. Bill, let me ask you, when it comes to stars like DDP and Booker T, the guys who did come over after the purchase, were they treated differently?
No, they were. If Vince McMahon's thought and the thought of everyone who worked for him is how I got to put on my Vince voice. I don't have the mustache here, darn it. Would be, well, how can we make money with these people? What should we do? That's, again, it's a business. It's the sports entertainment business at that point. My biggest shock with the whole sale was the TV thing that they did where Shane McMahon shocked everybody by saying he bought WCW. And I just don't think that angle was played out to what it really could have been. Right, Teddy?
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that. You know what I mean?
But they were at the mercy of the talent again, weren't they? They only had so much talent they could use. Right.
But I'm kind of like Bill, the way that it was done. You know what I mean? I think I'd have did it a lot better than that. You know what I mean? Well, not better, maybe added something to it. Made it a little bit more of a mystery.
Made it a war because they never really said it's WCW, which we wanted to see, versus WWE. Now they had the guys to do it.
Yeah, instead, they brought them in and made them look like fools in most cases.
I see where Bill is going. Now you got that. Shane's got WCW, so now Shane goes against his dad. The WCW versus the WWE. So I could see that. Yeah,
that was a missed opportunity because had they played that as a real deal and really kayfabe that could have been something because people would have believed it was son against his father competing in TV ratings.
Wait a minute, we're the time machine. We can go back and correct it.
Well, I don't want to correct it. I have to go back and relive all that again.
Yeah, I don't either.